Arabella smiled. I like watching you squirm. My phone chimed. A text from Rogan. You're missing the show. What show? Come outside. I really wanted to run upstairs to my old room and lock the door. I couldn't do that for 2 reasons. 1, I was an adult. And 2, my other sister, Catalina, moved into my room, so it wasn't technically mine anymore. It was absurd. I was a trained private investigator with almost 10 years of experience. Baylor Investigative Agency existed today because I took it over when Dad got sick and made it successful against all odds. Not only that, but I was a prime, the highest level of magic user one could reach. My paternal grandmother had the same talent, and people cringed when they heard her name. I had stood up to her and to a dozen other primes. In the past year, I've been shot at, hit with a car, burned, teleported, and frozen nearly to death. I had a bus almost dropped on me, I faced a psionic who nearly destroyed my mind, and I told Connor Rogan, the scourge of Mexico, no, repeatedly, and stood my ground. I should be able to meet my fiancé's mother. I could do this. I got up, put my plate into the sink, hugged my mom, and went to the door. A gunmetal gray Range Rover waited in front of our warehouse. Unless you looked closely and knew what you were looking for, you would never guess that the car was armored. Rogan leaned against the vehicle. I've seen him in a $20,000 suit and in dirt-stained jeans and a t-shirt. No matter what he wore, he always had a kind of rugged masculinity about him. You got a sense that nothing would knock him off his stride. Whatever came up, he would handle it and he wouldn't panic. The fact that he was huge, over 6 feet tall, and built like he fought people for a living, only added to it. Today, he wore a pair of jeans and an olive t-shirt. With his bronze skin and dark hair, he looked like some sort of jungle explorer. Oh no. I stopped. What? He asked. We match, I ground out. So? I'm going to go change. He caught my hand and drew me to him. His dark blue eyes were laughing as he leaned down and kissed me. He tasted of mint and coffee, and the touch of his lips anchored me. You know what? It would be fine. You look great. Also, if you leave, you'll miss the best part. He nodded to my left. I glanced in that direction. A sapphire blue Maserati Grand Cabrio was parked at the curb. Next to it, directly under my sister's window, stood Alessandro Segredo. When I first saw Alessandro's picture shortly before the trials, I thought he looked like the son of a gladiator ready for his first match. That impression was even stronger in person. His face still had traces of softness, but they were quickly disappearing. The lines of his face were becoming hard and precise, but whichever form they would take, one thing remained certain. Alessandro was cursed to spend his life being ridiculously handsome. My shy, quiet sister was leaning out of her window and seemed clearly agitated. No, Catalina declared. Why not? Alessandro's voice held just the slightest trace of an Italian accent. Because what you're feeling for me isn't real. Who says I'm feeling anything? I'm just suggesting we go for a drive. Alessandro nodded at the Maserati gleaming bright blue in the sunlight. I have the car right here. No. Only a few days ago, our family had to undergo the trials to prove that we possessed at least 2 primes and therefore could be declared a house. We needed the protections granted to the emerging houses desperately, which meant that I and my sisters had to demonstrate our magical abilities before a panel of prime judges. Alessandro